Hi there, Judo. I can hear you. I can hear you if you can hear me. Can you hear me? I'm still talking. I'm just gonna keep talking until you hear me. I'm still talking, just saying, in case you can hear me. I'm still talking, just saying, in case you can hear me. I'm still talking,
Hello.
just saying, in case you can hear me. I'm still. Can you hear me now, Judo? In case you can hear me. I'm still. Can you hear me now, Judo? In case you can hear me. Still. Can you hear me now, Judo? Judo, can you hear me?
Check.
Judo, can you hear me?
Check.
Judo, can you hear me? Judo, can you hear me? Judo, can you hear me? Hello there? Hello there? Judo, I'm trying to talk. I don't know if you can hear me or not. But I'm guessing you can't. I'm just gonna keep talking until you can hear me. Hello? Okay, you got me now? I'm trying to talk. I don't know if you can hear me or not. But I'm guessing you can't. I'm just gonna keep talking until you can hear me. Hello? Okay, you got me now? I don't know if you can hear me now. But I'm guessing you can't. I'm just gonna keep talking until you can hear me. Hello? Okay, you got me now? Okay, cool. Can you hear me now?
There, now they can hear me. Wow.
Oh, okay. Can they hear me?
Now they can hear you.
Now they can hear me?
Before they could hear you,
Okay.
trying to talk to me, but
Oh, Northern Touch says that they can hear both of us. Hello,
yeah,
everybody.
now we're
I'm
good.
Nyquil Fiend. I'm from the internet. I have GeoChop with me. This is the Drawshow. Everybody's been looking forward to it. We got all the seeding for playoffs for NA we're going to do today. It's going to be great. Judo, how you feeling?
Good. You know, hopefully that's the only hiccup we have tonight. And
I agree completely.
we multiple people put in a lot of work into tonight, so you know, this is where we seed the top 8 of each division into groups, and after that comes the bracket stage.
Yep. We're here to both get all the technical seeding for all the playoffs done out of the way today, but also just recognize all the teams that put in hard work and got to the top 8.
Yeah.
It's tough competition. A lot of divisions were really close cutoffs for who got in and who was out for the top 8 this season. I noticed.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of teams just that when it was determined early that they wouldn't make it, just up and left. Which
I think that did happen a little bit as well. But even other teams that stayed, there were still some really close calls.
and you really hate to see it because I know personally I've suffered through 1 in 7 seasons. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean, this is like a big season for Scorpius. You guys finally, your own team, you got in this time.
yeah, we're excited. We're excited about it. Um,
Hell yeah. I think we got the clip show soon, right?
Yep. So I compiled some clips. The there's more Epic Cup clips, I would say, because that's all I could find. But shout out to Psycho, he provided me with some, so that should cover the rest. And I hope you enjoy this little montage that I put together because everybody loves a montage.
That they do.
They want this one. Bronze 6, they cannot let this one go over. Light Bomb going down onto the Maltail, only lands onto the Mal'Ganis player. The Void Prism comes out huge, getting rid of the entire damage. Stitch is all alone. Stitch is going to go down. That is the Mal'Ganis getting in there with the blind hatred, and he's going off on his own over there, trying to catch somebody running away. Maltail is getting silenced out there. That is a full team white, huge play coming out from the Zeratul, putting the healer and all the damage into that Void Prism. Mal'Ganis ultimately just going with that blindness of bat.
Oh, the force going down. The Deathwing does so much damage.
Big jet propulsion into combustion. The Warden's Cage getting tons of value. Botu really low. He's gonna die, but at 53%, the Corn's falling. Zool taking tons of damage. Blaze does go down too. You just gotta auto attack the Corn.
I think Deathwing should. I think they have it.
This is so close. Zool just doing all the damage he can. It's only 15%. 4%. 2%.
1. No way. Oh my.
For the side of TPRJ, we got the Draken drill onto the Immortal. Oh, big stay a while. Listen, Rainer's in trouble, but the cleanse comes out.
Oh, Botu's dead.
Oh, dead. These big six. Huge play, but they still get the kill. Special Chai running away. Big cleanse by Nana. Backwards now in a lot of trouble as well. I don't think it's not back in 10 seconds. Not really looking to close that way. They're going to get the whole wall maybe more here. Attempts to move in here though. This is a big play. Big stun out. Garrosh has had some massive throws. Murden taking tons of damage. He's going to drop before he can do anything. Rick's taking a ton of damage. Now Garrosh as well. Garrosh is going to go down, and the go for the throat's going to get tons of kills. Rayleigh is just mopping the floor with them. Five is going to be a 5-man wipe.
And Hong Kong is immediately going in, trying to find something. Judo Chop trying to flank from the side. I guess the jump? Bit of a weird start to this fight, but big slide from ETC, just locking down everybody. The Brightwing heal does keep the key target alive, but Maya finally falls. Geo with a spear in response, Nemoto diving, trying to find any kind of counter kill here, but Blackstorm just getting poked down by my ranked account. Using that ace in the hole to their advantage here, as they blow up Geo as well, a third kill. Strong start to the game from Scorpius. Clearly not backing down after a very disappointing game one for them. Wow.
Alright, there comes the lead, and I gotta tell you, I guarantee you Trax feels amazing and super happy to be able to jump in and kill Malfield, considering how much they've been fighting this game. 8-Bit also looks like went in, almost killed Lasonia, but was not quite able to do that. Once again, shout out to this Brightwing.
Cassia went down ASAP. Light Bomb was on top of the Warden's Cage. Ooh, nice snipe by the Hanzo, getting that ETC. Light Bomb, falling sword in the backline, followed up with the Hanzo arrow. Ball lightning also going out. So much damage once again. Flailing swipe comes out. ETC catching only the end went in the backline. Also catching the Mayab. She jumped into a 200 HP first. And they're so low! They're so low!
Barely getting away.
Oh, what a move by the Mayab to avoid the fend damage coming out from Cassia. Nobody went down. That was ridiculous. But they are fighting for the for the objective right now. This will be cursed for whichever side gets it, so it is going to be a brutal fight here. But maybe these guys are waiting for that level 25 power spike right now because they're very close to getting it. Johanna in the back line.
Miracle goes down. ETC is in trouble. ETC goes down.
Flailing swipe to push them
control
back.
Yeah.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
But it looks like that's it. This curse is going to go in the favor of Shogal's Angels, and they are getting that top boss started. Don't know they are going to ignore it and just push.
Oh, nice
Good repulse.
Apop coming out, catching the Stukov. Where is the follow-up? Stukov getting blown up.
Stukov goes down.
And another nice
concussion grenade on Sylvanas.
That's crazy. These Junkrat's playing like phenomenal. It's nuts. It's completely nuts.
Man, we're seeing some good Junkrats.
They're going to try to get the triple keep here. This is a big play. Diablo going in. Combustion going out. Doesn't hit anything.
Combustion being down 50 for the next shrine phase. Diablo Jellybean is going pretty low though.
He's getting pretty low, but he is 100 soul Diablo.
Chops taking.
Oh
my
big
goodness! The setup by Grand Boss. The setup.
Oh, that's
oh my goodness!
Four-man kill.
Team wipe.
Diablo with the Hellgate managed to jump on K-Strike. That's a 5-man team wipe. The support is gone. You have to. This is the real backdoor. This is
you have to fight it.
This is the real backdoor. This is
again.
Yeah, this is the real backdoor play. You've got 2 catapults. This is it. This is game. You have to go for it. They're already sending back Cassia.
Cassia already knows.
I think you
is
actually.
Is anyone else gonna go back? I'd send everyone, but yeah. Let's see
actually
if
fight
Diablo's
this.
going back.
You actually fight this. You fight over the corner.
Is it gonna be enough? Diablo's back.
Big
Pussy goes down.
Cassia. Zul'jin just needs to hit core. Hit core.
Zul'jin's going.
This is nuts. They're gonna do it.
Wow.
So
yeah, that was the clip show. But is there a problem with the overlay?
There we go.
All right, we're back. Yo, everybody. I love some of those clips. My absolute favorite has to be the Void Prison by, I forget who it's on, Heavy Impact, where they do Void Prison into Sonya and just delete the backline. Stuff of beauty right there.
Yeah.
And I think this is a good opportunity to just like shout out a lot of the other casters, because there's been a lot of people stepping up. Icex, Rodon, Fujin Akari has been doing a lot of casts. Bankai, I know I'm forgetting some names, but those are some of the big ones I wanted to highlight. Just shout out to all the casters, man.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we appreciate any help we can get over at Heroes Lounge. And, yeah, there's been some really great casts this season. So you ready to move on to our interview with Northern Touch?
Yeah. For the rest of the draw show, pretty much, we're going to be doing, for each cup, we're going to do like one interview with a member of one of the teams, and then we're going to do all the dice rolls, all of the placements within the playoffs. And we're starting with Northern Touch, like Judo Chop just said. So you do want to get him in the call?
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
Yo, welcome to the show, Northern Touch.
Hey, glad to be here.
Judo, we didn't work this out quite in advance how we're going to do the questions. Do you want me to start, and we can just go back and forth?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so Northern Touch, you are the captain of Phoenix Rising Diamond, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
It is your first Heroes Lounge season, but you guys have been together as a team for a while, as far as I know.
Yep.
How does it feel to enter a new league and have such a successful first season?
I mean, it's interesting for us. We'd always been like an NGS team, and this is our first like Heroes Lounge season, and it's cool to see a lot of the same teams that we played before over in Heroes Lounge. And I know for us, it's been fun to experiment and try new things, new drafts against all these new teams, because it's not like a lot of teams know what we've done before, at least in this league. So we've been able to try out a bunch of new stuff, and so far we've been pretty successful at it. And we've had a lot of good competition in our games and some really sweaty moments for sure.
Whatever experimenting you're doing, it seems to be working out. Successful experiment. Judo, you want to follow up?
Yeah, so do you have like any I can't seem to find the question that I have for you. Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah, so congrats for winning the division. It's nice to see like so many successful teams flying under one banner. You know, that means like something good is happening, something good is blossoming, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's
within the Phoenix Rising enterprise.
Yeah, it's amazing to be part of like an organization like this. It's not something I even thought existed, at least in terms of the number of teams and the number of players we have at this point. I think like in terms of the Phoenix Rising organization was started by Covey a while ago, and now we're up to, I think after we got new teams, our next NGS season we're going to have 11 registered teams plus a bunch of other players. And
I was gonna say I counted at 11. That's like, it's like 1% of the Heroes Lounge teams. Like, that's like a lot.
Yeah, it's a huge amount of teams, and it gives us a lot of opportunity to do a lot of cool stuff. Just this past weekend, we actually had an 8-team like auction draft tournament that was just in house, and we raised over $2,000 for charity. So
nice.
It's cool to be part of this organization. It's not something I thought existed, and if something that other teams are interested in, definitely check us out sometime.
So was there a particular origin story to Phoenix Rising?
I don't know the exact origin story, but it's Covey's baby. In fact, Covey actually like suffers from a rare disease, which is why we did the charity tournament this last little bit. But it's his brainchild, and one of our members, at least on my team, Dropping Babies, is actually now a founder in the organization and has helped onboard and recruit a bunch of these teams too. So started as something that's a bit small and has grown into something bigger, and we're getting more and more teams wanting to join, because there's a lot of stuff that a big organization can offer in terms of higher skill players and lower skill players working together to get better.
Yeah, like I said, and that's evident in the success you've had this season. So,
thank you.
My other question that I had also pertained to the Phoenix Rising organization, which specifically, like in the Div 3 setting, you guys are dominating. It's Diamond, Citrine, Emerald, all top 5 teams. What's it like having so many sister teams to compete with? Is there like camaraderie there, rivalry, or do the teams keep to themselves for the most part?
I mean, I think there's always rivalry when you get people playing each other all the time. But generally, I think camaraderie kind of wins out. I mean, we scrim each other all the time. We have people on the same level as us. We have people that want to scrim us that are at least slightly below us in skill, and they can work their way up to where we are, and we can work our way up to some of our higher level teams in our organization. We do stuff like engagement workshops where we just put ourselves into like a custom mode and just use the same comp and bash our heads in against each other till we figure out what works and what doesn't in terms of a comp. And we do a lot of like sharing of discussion and that sort of thing for various roles, and share coaches as well. It's been really cool to be a part of something like that. And yeah, we got all these we have all these people that have all this knowledge, and you get to share that knowledge when you're all in there together.
Yeah, I could imagine, and even with like the negative things, like sometimes you might have a personality conflict. You can feel, you know, everybody has their own views and stuff like that, and some people just naturally wouldn't get along. So you could just throw them on a different team, and they could thrive. And
I mean, it's bound to happen. And the cool part about being an organization like this is there's so many teams on like the same level as well, or like relatively the same level, that if it's not working out with somebody on one team, there's always another team that might want that player, or has played with that player in regular scrims, or even in just general games. And let that happen every day, just playing some Storm League games, and they'll find something that's good for them. So a lot of opportunity, even if there are a few squabbles now and then.
Yeah,
that is a super interesting way to like organize having a bunch of teams like that. Judah, do you have any more like questions for the interview?
For your team in particular, do you have a key ingredient, a key player, the sugar and the sweet tea?
I mean, for us, it's about taking responsibility and criticism, and something to work on for each individual player. So we tend to think that like if you're not improving yourself, well, you're doing yourself kind of a disservice. It's really like a Storm League attitude to go in there and just blame everybody in your game for why you didn't win.
That's the best attitude. That's the attitude of my attitude.
Yeah. The best way to go about it is to find the things that you want to work on, just even a small list, and improve those and work on those and watch those every single game. So we do a lot of like replay reviews. We record every single game. We watch those games for things that we can do better when we point them out, and we do those after the game instead of yelling at each other in the game. And in terms of personal players, I would say Dropping Babies is really good drafter, and he's learned a bunch of characters. Sonar as well has expanded his character pool. Automatic Z's gone from being a mid-diamond player, and he's gotten up to Masters this season. He's improved his personal skill a lot just by grinding. And I would also like to shout out Idioms, who is a sub on our team, and he's going to be playing with us a lot in the playoffs. He's really good, a voice on the team, really good at communication, and has been through the grinder. He's been in competitive HOTS for quite a while, and it's great to get his voice in there as like a calming presence for when we get all antsy during a crazy game.
Yeah, coming from the 4th seed of Div 4, I hope at some point we can interact in the Epic Cup.
Could happen. It's got to be the right roll of the dice.
Oh, yeah. For sure. I mean, anything can happen, especially in the group stage or as the bracket wears down in the finals. So we have to be ready for anything. Maybe pull out some crazy feats that we've never seen before, for sure.
I don't want to see you in the group stage, but I might. So with that being said, we'll roll on to the dice rolling. Hold on, let me...
Yeah, thank you so much for being on the show and doing the interview, Northern Touch. It's been great talking about all this stuff.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate all the work you guys have done for the season, and excited to play in the playoffs.
Thank you. Best of luck with the group stage moving forward.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
See you.
I have to go adjust the mic stand. 1 second.
Okay, Northern, if you could drop from the call. Thank you. Right, I guess. Maybe I didn't think that one through, because now the overlay's messed up. But Judah will be back soon and we can fix it. So, hi, chat.
Hi, chat. So, yeah, so, as I get this, I mean, that's pretty much perfect. Yeah, I mean, it's judo perfect. So
it's judo perfect, baby.
So here we go. We got the Heroes Lounge. I decided, to take the red carpet away and do the invisible thing. What was it called? Gamma?
Green screen?
Green screen, but it's a red screen.
It's a red green screen. It is a nice looking Heroes Lounge icon in the background.
It's a red screen, so I put gloves on to try and prevent it from...
Your finger's looking pretty freaky on the screen, but
yeah.
You get the concept. Can we show up the sheet just showing the teams on it?
Yeah,
Can you talk about that for a moment?
absolutely. So
yeah, basically the way it works is there's 4 different pools that teams can be drawn from. Pool number 1 is the top 4 teams of Div 3. Pool number 2 is the bottom 4 teams from Div 3, or from the top 8. You know what I'm saying? Pool 3 is the top 4 teams from Div 4.
Wait,
and Pool 4 is the lower 4 teams from Div 4.
This is not the Epic Cup that's showing.
No, you're looking at the Legendary Cup, Judo. You want to find the Epic. I can give you the link. If you need the link.
Sure, quickly. That way.
All right. Yeah, this is Div 2, folks. We're getting it sorted out. No worries.
It's not a, judo stream if there's isn't, a lot of Papega, so.
It's like you said, it's Judo perfect. We're getting there.
That should be a drink.
Premature Legendary Copulation. Oh, no.
Pepsi Perfect. Remember from, what was that, Back to the Future 2? Would you like a Pepsi Perfect?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I feel like I'm not up on my Back to the Future lore. But basically, so I explained there's 4 different pools. We're going to be rolling 1 pool at a time. Each group is going to have 1 team from each of those 4 pools. So each group is going to have 1 of the top and bottom teams from each division, basically. Top and bottom of the top 8.
All right, we good?
Yeah, there we go. We're on the right one. Awesome.
That's perfect.
So are we rolling for Phoenix Rising Diamond first?
The first
Northern
seed
Touch.
for the first division, and then we go through 1 through 4 of Div 3, and then we go through 5 through 8 of Div 3, and then same for Div 4.
Cool. So Northern Touch is going to immediately get to see what group they're in right after completing the interview a moment ago.
Yeah, what's funny is I use the same template as the Drawshow from season 5, and
Right?
amateur opponent was the one thing I didn't have to change.
That's true, but that is the Legendary Cup, so we're getting there. We'll see when Amateur Opponents is going to be in the same exact spot as the last time.
Oh, I thought I heard you bring it up. My bad. When you come up against judo, you come up against an amateur opponent. So we're rising for.
We should get the dice on screen, probably, Judo.
Yep. Yes, dice on screen. Oh yeah.
So it's a D4, right? So we're just going to get one is A.
It is a D12 with.
It's a D12, but it
with
has 1s and 4s on it and all that. Just has 1 through 4 in it, I think.
Wow, that looks great. Okay, but they're epic heroes lounge dice. You know, they came from the gods. So we got a 3.
You rolled a 3?
Yep.
All right. So that means Group C, Phoenix, Rising, Diamond. Alrighty.
Next one. We got.
So Almighty Baby Yoda's up next.
We got another 3. So we're gonna re-roll.
Yep, got to re-roll that one.
We got a 4.
Got a 4, so that's Almighty Baby Yoda in Group D.
We got next coming up a 1.
A 1, so that's Banshee from Pool 1 going to Group A. And that means finally Phoenix Rising Citrine, by a process of elimination, is going to go to Group B.
Okay, and now from.
So next is Pool 2, Phoenix Rising Emerald, Blackheart's Booty, Hello Kitty Action Squad, and Rise and Grind. Dude, I love this pool.
We got a 4.
A 4, so that means Phoenix Rising Emerald is going to Group D.
And now we got a 1.
We got a 1, so Blackheart's Booty is going to Group A.
And now
Hello Kitty up next.
It's a 1. That's a reroll. You guys see it?
Yep, that's a reroll.
See it?
That. I can see it.
Okay, good. It's 3.
It's a 3?
Yeah.
All right. The squad is officially going to Group C with Phoenix Rising Diamond. And that means by process of elimination, Rise and Grind is going to Group B.
You know, I like his a lot more than Bingo Balls.
Hmm.
Bahama looked like he was struggling that one season. All right, so
It's always fun at the Drill Show. Pool 3 is next. It's going to be Body Break rolling first.
Oh, Body Break. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
All right, that's a 4.
That is a 4 for Body Break. So they're going to Group D.
And next is 1.
That is Poseidon, who rolled into Group A. Poseidon is in Group A.
And this
Next is SGPRJ.
And it's also going to determine where my team finds out.
Yeah, Scorpius is going to be in the other one.
That's a 4.
4, so we need to re-roll for SGPRJ. It's either Group C or B. 2 or 3 we're looking for.
You got another 1.
The suspense is killing me.
You got 2.
It's a 2, SGPRJ. SGPRJ. I have no idea what that stands for, but they're going into Group B, and that means Scorpius, your own team, Judo, is going into Group C.
Oh, we're playing.
So you
with
actually
Hello
are
Kitty.
going to be in the same group as Phoenix Rising Diamond. Poor you.
But we got Hello Kitty in there, and like I like Hello Kitty. They're
I like them too. It's a terrifying group so far, honestly.
Like they like just climbed their way all the way to Div 3.
Yeah, all the way up to Div 3. We got pool number 4 last to roll. It's Heal Team 6 at the top.
We had a 3.
We got a 3. Heal Team 6 is going to Group C as well. Next is Beyond Gaming.
We got another 3.
Another 3, so we got a reroll.
2.
That's a 2. Beyond Gaming is going to Group B.
And for the
Next is
final
Murgle Go.
roll, we got a 2.
That's a 2. Need a reroll. Murgle Go is either going to Group A or D, and Cho'Gall to Finals is going to the other.
I'm sorry, I grabbed that quickly. I should have let it sit a little longer. It's a 1.
It's a 1. Murgle Go is going to Group A. Hope I'm spelling that right. A lot of G's and L's in there. And Cho'Gall to Finals is going to Group D. So do we have the final results up on screen now?
Yeah, we can do that.
Now we can do that.
Okay, I can just.
Awesome. You want to scroll down probably a little bit on the screen?
Yeah,
Show the groups.
I'm gonna move them over.
Yeah, when I look at this, it's a lot of either teams that are new to Heroes Lounge or it's their very first season in the playoffs. So shout out to all those teams who are making playoffs for the first time. Like, I think it's Scorpius' first time. Cho'Gall to Finals, Beyond Gaming, Poseidon.
We
plenty
made playoffs, but we were a different team back then.
Right, it was a very different squad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was Division 3.
Mm-hmm. Looking at this, Group C is immediately terrifying to me because it's both Phoenix Rising Diamond and Hello Kitty Action Squad. It looks brutal in there. I think Almighty Baby Yoda and Phoenix Rising Emerald in Group D, along with Body Break, that could be another interesting group where maybe Body Break has a chance to break out and try and find an upset. Or Cho'Gall to Finals.
Yeah.
It's always my favorite part of the Epic Cup is watching for those Div 4 teams that have the chance to break out, make the upsets over Div 3 teams.
And what's surprising is, you know, some teams, you know, they can't make the either the bracket day or they're busy with NGS and they choose, you know, like not to participate in the finals as the top 2 teams, and Division 4 chose not to. But
yeah, that was pointed out in
and
chat as well.
and Div 4 was just it used to be, you have 5, you have 6 wins, you're almost guaranteed a spot. Like 5 is usually like you're safe, but
Yeah, usually.
but it wasn't so. You know what I mean? Like I don't. There was a lot of teams with 3 wins, a lot of teams, and then I don't know.
Yeah, it's always interesting when the divisions shrink and like the requirements to get into playoffs get changed or whatever, just by like nature of how many teams are left.
Yeah,
I have to tell you, looking at this pool, personally, I think there's still a shot. Body Break, Poseidon, and Beyond Gaming in particular stand out to me as teams that maybe have the sauce. Especially if Poseidon can get their things together. They have some really awesome players. But obviously all the teams here do have a shot, and we'll be covering them pretty soon once the group stages roll around.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to participating and helping out in any way, as I always do. So let me see if we can get our next guest on the line.
Yeah, we're moving up to Division 2 pretty soon. And it's going to be 8-Bit from Team Probius here in the call with us shortly. So get ready for that. Legendary Cup stuff coming up soon. I believe Probius was number 3 team in the division this season. Is it number 2 or number 3? Pretty respectable result. And because Legendary Cup and as well the Mythic Cup are only 8 teams, just from one singular division, it's just going to be 2 groups that we're dividing these 8 teams between. But we'll get into that later with the dice rolls. For now, we're just getting our interview guest on the show as soon as we can. Just figuring out the technical details, I believe, but we should be doing that shortly.
Yes, indeed.
I see Tanwell in the chat says Blackguard's Booty's about to slap some kids. I mean, the booty are back. It's serious. It's for real. Blackguard's Booty had a very good run in the Epic Cup only 2 seasons ago, before being taken out by tentative team name. They got all the way to semifinals. I think Blackguard's Booty definitely is a team that you got to watch out for. It does in some ways seem like. Oh, do we have an update?
No, I was just gonna input. I'm a big fan of Blackguard's Booty just because of the map.
Oh yeah, it is. That is not why I like the team. I'm not a big fan of the map.
Okay, so I'm adding you to this call. Hey, 8-Bit.
Can you try talking? Not sure if I'm getting audio.
Yeah, I'm not getting it either.
All right, so we got a bit of an issue here, but I can see 8-Bit's beautiful face on my computer monitor. I assure you we're getting to it shortly.
Can you hear me now?
Hear him. I can hear you now. 8-Bit, welcome to the show.
Excellent. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. Judo, do you got everything set up on your end?
Just about. We got 2 more seconds.
All right.
And here we go.
Any moment now? Hell yeah. Now the lovely viewing audience can see 8-Bit as well. You're the captain of Probius, Division 2 team. You've climbed your way out of Division 3 from last season. And I actually remember you guys had an interesting playoff run. You went all the way to finals in the Epic Cup. Lost to Los Popochas team. And the funny thing to about that series to me was Cho'Gall kept showing up. Both teams were picking it. It was getting banned by the end. Do you think the two-headed ogre is going to make a big return for the Legendary Cup, or will the Cho'Gall fans at home be left high and dry?
That was the Cho'Gall was something that we had planned very special for the Epic Cup last season.
Sure.
We put in a lot of grind and a lot of practice on it, very deliberately doing it all on alt accounts to try and hide it from as many mutual friends as we had in the league. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the information warfare.
Yeah, there was. It didn't work that well because they were all friends with our alt accounts too, so they all knew.
No. Just one game to do it.
We'll see. It's most definitely still in the pool. The players haven't lost their skill on the hero, so it's an option for us going forward.
Interesting. Judo, what do you got?
So, you have a maxed out roster at 9 members. Do you use that to your advantage, or is that simply as like a failsafe?
As a captain who does scouting myself, I know the difficulties of scouting a 9 roster team. You go and you look in there, and it leaves you with questions about what you're going to run into on draft day. That there's always the potential that a new player could show up that could adjust roles and throw off balances. So I think it adds a level of unpredictability to Proteus and what's going to happen on a day-to-day basis. It's really not why the roster is there. Actually, the truth of it is that Proteus has just developed into such a large group of friends. We call all of them our pro pals. And by having the large roster, it kind of gives us opportunities to work in competitive games with friends that we don't necessarily get to play with on a regular basis.
Sure. I definitely agree as like someone who does a lot of scouting for my team. When you see a 9-man roster, especially one that actually like rotates around which players are showing up on a given day, it is like stressful trying to figure out who you're actually going to be playing against and what heroes to even be prepared for sure. My other question was about the meta. We recently had a big balance patch, touched around 22 or so heroes. It had nerfs to heroes like Cassia that have been a staple of the meta, and buffs to others. Has the patch like really affected your hero priorities? Are there any buffed heroes that have you excited?
It was a big patch that touched a lot of things. Certainly, Cassia got hit with a decent-sized nerf, which has dropped her down considerably in the priority pool. I think brought her into balance with a lot of the other heroes out there. I think at the end of the day, though, removing Cassia from the first ban priority, though, has sort of exacerbated a bit of the problem that has existed in the meta for some time, which is just simply that bruisers are too good at this moment. It's something that took the community a while to figure out. I think we could probably trace the roots of it back to the Diva and Gazlo reworks.
Sure.
And we didn't really become aware of it until CCL gave us a true top-level pro scene, looking and dissecting the meta and coming away with, best strategies. And throughout the CCL, something that was a staple of theirs was these large bruiser-heavy comps.
Imperious.
Having Cassia in such a strong point kind of became at least one hero to counterbalance that to some degree. But I still sort of feel like that's something that needs a little bit of a rework in the hero pools right now. The bruisers are just too good and dominating too many of the top win rate slots.
Sure. I'm definitely feeling and seeing a lot of the same things when I watch CCL or even start to go into my own games and drafts right now. Judo, what else you got?
So just out of sheer just looking back throughout maybe this season or your experiences in the past seasons, what was your favorite moment in Heroes Lounge?
Oh gosh, I've had so many. I've been running competitive HOTS for a couple of years now. I think if I had to trace my all-time favorite moment in competitive, it's something that is Probius legend that we still talk about today. Was Cinderelling our way through a tournament in which we had to win a fight 3v5 on the boss pit on Towers of Doom to come back and win game 3. And then we went on from there to reverse sweep the number 1 seed in the tournament and go all the way to the finals where we lost on game 5. So Probius actually has two last game losses in their history book.
Oh no.
Yeah, we're getting very good at it. But from this season specifically, if I had to look at this, I think that match against the NA team, hands down, takes the cake as the number 1 moment. Every one of the players on that team is a recognizable name within the community. I watch their content, as I know many of the rest of our audience does as well. And so to have a chance to sit down and play them in a game and have that match be such a close and intense affair, that was something very special.
Yeah. I mean, I had a couple similar moments where you're like those 3-game like maps, even if you end up losing them, like just knowing that you pushed yourself to the brink and like it's just that's the best part about Heroes. That's why we're all here.
Certainly.
But so it looks like we have some more dice to roll.
We do have some more dice to roll. 8-Bit, thank you so much for doing the interview. It's been awesome talking with you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. Have a lovely night.
Any shout
You too,
outs?
dude.
Oh, sure. I will shout out the entirety of Probius. Most definitely the Pro Pals. I will not be going through all of their names here because there's so many of them and they're so long. Shout outs to you guys for putting this great tournament together. Thank you to Heroes Lounge. And shout outs to my lovely wife, who I can see in chat supporting me right now, and my beautiful son, who's taking a nap on the other side of that wall there.
Awesome. Cool. So hope to see you again soon.
Thanks a lot.
Peace.
Alrighty, that was 8-Bit.
Right. Yeah.
We've got the Legendary Cup coming up. A lot of tough
Yes.
teams. This is like a list of many teams that beat me this season. Whether in a real game or scrims. Actually, maybe it's not that many that we played. I feel like we played a lot of the ones that didn't make playoffs, but not important.
Okay. What is important is these magical Heroes Lounge dice. I'm gonna put them up on eBay for sale one day, and they're gonna make me feel rich.
The legendary Judo Chop dice are being used right now to decide fate and the history of the Legendary Cup tournament in front of our eyes. Judo, let's go.
Let's go. What are we rolling for?
Oh, can we just show the audience the Legendary Cup? Page advance.
Yep. Now that's stuck on the Epic Cup.
Ooh, that would be a problem. You should probably make it show the Legendary Cup now.
Yeah. It must just be the same browser.
Yeah, we still have 4 pools. We're going to do 1 pool at a time. And yeah, we're just separating these 8 teams into 2 different groups. So if you roll an odd number, the team's going into group 1. An even number, the team we're rolling for is going into group 2. Judo, you tell me when you're ready.
Yep. I'm scrolling through our DMs looking for the link.
I can send you the link. That's not a problem.
No, I just found it.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't even know that you didn't have the link. I thought you just had it.
I think what I did was I made copies that were like duplicates and not some technical lingo.
All right. It's unfortunate, but as long as we have the page now, we should be ready to go, right?
Yes.
Got some awesome teams. I can just talk about the teams while you get set up. Dark Rhino have been killing it this season, winning all 8 series. We'll see if they can hold on to their undefeated status as they rematch other top contenders from the division. Gobulegs has been very solid. They're unique in Div 2 for their Kalthas play. It's netted them over half their map wins for the regular season. We just heard from Probius and 8-Bit and all them, so you know the deal with them. Chogo's Angels has a 75% win rate. Murky. Shout out to Murky.
75% win rate.
75% win rate. It's over 4 games, but I'm trying to make it sound more impressive.
Yeah.
You just interrupt me when you're ready to go, by the way. Mandrills of Saturn. Personally, I'm not super familiar with them, but they performed well in their first season of Heroes Lounge. We haven't seen them play against most of the top contenders in the division yet, so I'd say they're a bit untested, unproven, but potentially like a dark horse in the Div 2 playoffs. We don't know. These might be good matchups for them that they just haven't played yet. NA team, Probius shouted them out. They're armed to the teeth with different streamers and personalities like Kyberries and Cavalry Guest and Porky. They clutched out a win last week after a bit of a slump, so hopefully they'll be in prime shape for group stage after that win to pick them up. Amateur opponents, they might have only barely made the playoff cutoff, but I think they're like one of the scariest teams on this whole list. For me, playing against Ides May was terrifying this season. They did very well in last season's group stage as well, so I think they should not be underestimated. And lastly, better than bots. They're an absolute staple of Division 2. They've gone as deep as Legendary Cup semifinals in the past. I don't know how they'll make it out of this type of a field of competition, but they're guaranteed to put up a strong fight, if not make it through.
Yeah, so I've been ready, but I kind of wanted to hear what you had to say about it.
All right, I could have totally just gone through that like after the fact, but you know what? It's great. It's awesome. Can we show the...
Yeah.
So this is all the teams, all the pools. So now you know what we're rolling for.
We do have
one
some
pool at a time.
Extra D20s and stuff, but they're not for use.
Sure. So we're rolling for Dark Rhino and Team Gobulegs first. If it's an odd, Dark Rhino's going into Group 1. If it's an even, then vice versa.
Yep.
Group 2. Give me that roll, Judo.
We got an even. It's 2.
It's a 2?
Yeah.
All right. Dark Rhino, undefeated team in Division 2 this season. Well, undefeated on series. They're going to Group 2, and Team Gobulegs, the number 2 team, will be going to Group 1.
All right.
So next we're rolling for Probius and Cho'Gall's Angels.
Another 2.
That was another 2?
Yeah.
All right. Probius is going to Pool 2 with Dark Rhino. Cho'Gall's Angels heading to Group 1. Next, we're rolling Pool 3, Mandrill of Saturn, and amateur opponents.
Tiene dos.
Tiene dos? Tiene dos. Mandrills of Saturn is going to Group 2. Let me just type that in. And amateur opponents is going to Group 1.
And a 3. That's an odd.
Yeah, sorry. NA team is the last one, so they're going odd. They're going to Group 1. And Better Than Bots is going to Group 2. So we can bring that back up on the screen with all the groups filled out now. So we can see Group 1 is Team Gobulegs, Cho'Gall's Angels, amateur opponents, and the NA team. Group 2 is Dark Rhino, Probius, Mandrills of Saturn, and Better Than Bots. Both these groups are terrifying. Oh my gosh. A lot of really strong teams here. I don't know what to predict. But should be a very fun group stage.
There I am.
I pretty much gave all my commentary and notes I had on these teams a few minutes ago.
You thought you were buying me time, and I'm just letting you go.
Yeah, you kind of messed with me there, Judo. But
I
think bottom line is we got 8 strong teams. This is going to be a good competition. This is going to be good fun.
Yeah, yeah. But and that we have the info, we know the groups, teams can start preparing, and we can go into the final interview of the night. Let me get in touch with.
Yeah, we got Juan from Press Your Q Button coming up as soon as we can. Get him into the call. And then after that, we'll be rolling the Mythic Cup, or sorry, Mythic Championship, which is the Division 1 teams. Oh. Stream, I'm back.
Hello?
And we won here. Hello?
Hello, how's it going?
Yo, it's going great. Welcome to the show.
All right, thanks for having me on here.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. You are the captain of Press Your Q Button, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
All right. Let me see. Yeah, my first question I had for you was, of the teams you played in the regular season, which one would you want to rematch the most in playoffs?
I'd say that's probably Heavy Impact because I feel like they're probably the strongest on the season. I'd say.
It does seem that way. Heavy Impact has been given a lot of teams a lot of trouble. Judo, what do you got?
As I try and adjust our scenes here to get everything done proper. Why don't you ask your second question and then I'll go.
Sure, I can do that. So we actually talked about this a bit in the previous interview with the last guest, but this is the first season of NA Heroes Lounge since the introduction of CCL. Has your team been like paying attention to the CCL and trying to emulate their drafts at all?
I'd say my team they like watching CCL and all that, but they don't really like following that type. They don't think their drafts are too crazy or anything like that.
All right, so you guys are enjoying his entertainment, but you're not like saying this is what we want to do with our team. You're going for your own style.
Yeah, I think we found out what we're good at, and we're trying to.
Nice. I hope that's working out for you. I mean, clearly it is working out if you guys are 7-1. But
yeah, so
I kind of respect like sticking with your guns on that. Judo, what do you got?
So going 7-1, like it's possible like some teams I wouldn't call it sandbagging, but like they might recognize that they're they might not put their all into their game, like not reveal the true power of their team until the time comes. Like, is it possible that we might see level 9,000 press the Q button in the playoffs?
I'm not too sure yet. I mean, we've been playing a lot of in the Storm Div for NGS lately, trying to get the qualifiers for that, and we've been practicing a lot. So you might see we might be better. I can't really say for sure. Like,
yeah,
we've just been playing and practicing together.
This, from what I know, it's not easy to qualify for. So, and my other question is just, how would you rate your experience with Heroes Lounge compared to like other tournaments you've been a part of?
I'd say I've enjoyed it a lot, mostly because this is the first time I've been comfortable with the team. Especially because before I didn't really feel like we all like clicked together and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody has a specified role, and then we work well together to get that.
Yeah. A lot of times it comes down to personality conflicts and just getting that perfect spark within a team, and where everybody fulfills one role of the perfect group,
Yeah, Yeah, and I feel like we've also been improving a lot over the season, and like I feel like we would get even better, in future seasons also.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That is like a big achievement, getting a group that doesn't work together initially and then building that synergy over time. That does take really hard work, and I think that's like one of the best parts about Heroes Line, just when you get that end result that's so nice, that's working the way your team's working right now. Juan, do you have any like particular shout outs you want to do?
I'd have to say probably Quantum for like stepping up and being a good shot caller and all that, and respecting all what he does for the team, and just about everybody else too, actually. But I appreciate all of them, and thanks for sticking around and playing competitive with me.
Awesome. Judo, you got anything else, buddy?
Other than we gotta roll 4 more dice. Are you looking to dodge anybody, or are you ready for you ready for anything, Juan?
I'm ready for getting our round 2 with Heavy Impact, because the first time was unfortunate because they were the first people we went up against, and
yeah, it was early in the season.
Yeah, early in the season, you always get those preventable losses. I don't know, my team does, but yeah.
I do want to say it can't happen till the bracket stage. So you guys are not going to meet in groups. You could meet up on the bracket if you both you guys make it through.
Yeah,
it probably will happen
because you are in the same pool, being 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's the 1 and 2 seeds. But thanks for being on the show, Juan.
Thanks for having me on here.
Playoffs.
Yeah,
thank you.
All right,
goodbye.
Let's move on to the next scene.
All right. Do you want the link for the final?
Yeah.
Final Google Doc page.
That'd be good.
Let me find you. There you go. All right, Mythic Cup Division 1, last of all.
Mythic Cup is actually right.
Or it's Mythic Championship is the name of it, really.
Mythic Championship is actually right.
Yeah, it's Mythic Championship. This is the same setup as Div 2 with the Legendary Cup. We got 4 pools of 2 teams each. It's the 1 and 2 seed, the 3 and 4, the 5 and 6, the 7 and 8 are all going to be in separate groups, and we're rolling the dice. Exact same system as we used for Division 2. So I'm ready to start whenever you are, Judo. Otherwise, I can just like stall and talk about the teams for a while.
No, I'm ready.
All right, let's go. First pool is Heavy Impact, and press your Q button.
All right, here
so
we
an
go.
odd will be Group 1 for Heavy Impact, and even will be Group 2.
We got a 3.
We got a 3. That's odd. Heavy Impact is going to Group 1, and press your Q button is going to Group 2. Next, we are... I can't type to save my life right now. Next, we're going to Pool 2 with Archon and Yamete Kudasai.
Good pronunciation.
Good pronunciation.
Did that come up on screen?
Did you roll?
Yeah, I rolled it. It's a 1.
I can check the screen. I don't...
Wait.
Did you not switch scenes yet, buddy?
Oh.
We probably wanted to switch scenes to show the actual dice on the screen.
There's the one I just rolled. There's the 3.
Okay, so it's a 3, which means it's odds, and Archon is going to Group 1?
No. The one I just rolled. They were both
What
odd.
about it?
They were both
you're saying they're both odd. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so Archon is going to Group 1, and Yamete Kudasai is going to Pool 2.
All right, next dice. I want to be transparent as possible for you guys. No breaking going on here.
Fat Neptune and Inters Anonymous.
We got a 2.
It's a 2, so Fat Neptune is going to Group 2. And Inters Anonymous, great name, is going to Group number 1. With Archon and Heavy Impact.
We have our last roll.
Yep. Pool 4, Bronze 6.
We have a 3.
We have a 3. That's odd. Bronze 6 is going to Pool 1. And Girth Gang is going to Pool 4. Sorry, or Group 2. Said that wrong. But we have the full groups set up now if you want to show that on screen. And I've got some stuff to say about all these teams too. Heavy Impact was talked about in the interview a lot. They're formerly known as Weak Take These, or Chili Mountains Academy team. It's a surprise to nobody. They've top Div 1 yet again. They have a long list of accomplishments behind them. They're a clear favorite for winning the whole championship again. Press your Q button. We just heard from Juan Pablo, and I totally agree with him. We deserve, as the viewers, we deserve that rematch between Heavy Impact and Press your Q button. So I'm looking forward to that in the bracket. Archon, I'm actually on a new team with one member of the roster, so for that reason alone, I'm cheering for Archon this playoffs. Yamete, it's their second season of Heroes Lounge, first time in playoffs. They've earned themselves the opportunity to prove themselves in some higher pressure games. Fat Neptune, I'm just going to call it, I think it's hilarious that they have like 11 Asmodan bans against them, because their Asmodan is that strong. Inter's Anonymous, they missed playoffs by a few maps last season. They've worked hard to earn their spot back. Bronze 6, they're still working their way out of the bottom rung of Storm League, but they've done pretty well with some blow-up comps, some Stitches, Medivh stuff. I like their drafts a lot. And Girth Gang, that scandalously named team, absolutely squeaked by into playoffs, making the cutoff by one map. They've run some really fun comps this season. Diablo Medivh, some Uther main tank. They've run some melee assassins like Maiev and Alrak and the Four-Men. Very girthy drafts. I love to see it from the Girth Gang. That's all I got to say. I think both these groups are terrifying.
Yeah.
Just like in Div 2.
Well, one thing I'd like to point out is there weren't any fat teams from this season that made it in, right? I don't believe.
Fat Neptune made it in.
That they're not Legacy.
I have no idea if they're Legacy or not. I'm going to be honest with you. I
believe they're.
I don't think they had a previous season, but I'll check for you right now. This is their first season. Fat Neptune.
Okay, all right. So okay, good. We got a fat team in there, but there are some teams that eventually shed their fat, and I'd like to point out. I'd like to point out that which team is it?
Judah, you just threw a real curveball at me with shedding their fat. I wasn't ready for that joke, man. That was too much.
Which team is it?
It's you're trying to think of Banshee, by the way.
Banshee, yes.
Also, your webcam just exploded on the stream, as far as I can tell. It's not there anymore. You might want to figure that out.
Died.
Shedding the fat. But yeah, Banshee used to be free agent team. I'm not sure if there's any others. I know Poseidon is like kind of a former free agent team. It's a very different roster though. It's just Penetrators still playing there. But yeah, we've had it's like Fat Neptune being the most successful free agent team of the season, and then other former free agent teams with some good results.
So now we have some stats from you.
We do have some stats. I am the stats nerd. I love collecting stats about Heroes Lounge. I promise to keep them just short and to the point this time around. So Judah, you let me know whenever we got it up on screen. We can get started.
We are good.
We're good. All right. If you could go into the first slide, because you're at the bottom slide.
Oh, okay. I thought you were controlling the slides, but I can do that for you.
Oh yeah, that's not a thing I can do.
I have the power. Okay, first slide.
I do not have the power.
You let me know when to move slides.
Just top average KDA players. There we go. Yeah, I'll let you know when we're moving on. So we got Mason Blaze with 14.86 kills and assists per death, which is insane. Tiny No Tie not too far behind with 14.75, and SCH with 13.03. I know like one or two of these mostly play healers, which makes sense. Healers tend to get high assists, low death count. But absolutely astonishing numbers here. Some real standout players on the board. We can move on to map stats next, where most played map this season was Infernal Shrines with how many? 89 games. Least played, and this is insane, Sky Temple only had 2 games played in NA this season.
They were probably like both my games, man.
No, they were not your games. It was Press Your Q Button. Juan. We had him on the show moments ago. That was the only team that picked or won Sky Temple all season. They did it twice.
Wow.
Crazy. A lot of teams banning it though because they're scared of it. No one actually wants to play it.
I just know, like, I'm terrified of that map, and if we lost, we would lose. I don't know. The siege pressure, like, if you can get like any siege advantage.
Yeah, it's very easy to snowball once you're ahead, in my opinion. Not a favorite map of mine. Shortest game of the season was a 9:48 on Towers of Doom. Longest was a 33:25 on Infernal Shrines.
Wow.
Not sure which teams played them, but those are some very silly numbers.
Yeah.
33-minute game. Next, we can move on to popular heroes. If we're going across all divisions, Joe, pretty much every season ends up being most popularity with 52% win rate. Cassia is second place. Stukov is third. Gazlo is fourth. All sporting pretty good win rates and extremely high pick rates and popularity.
Gazlo is I think he's the real MVP here because in past seasons he hasn't been a factor much.
Yeah, the reworks really put him in a good spot. If we can move on to the next slide, we got Division 4 highest win rate heroes. Thrall at 75%, Jane is 67%, Gazlo and Zul both with 66% win rate. Which is interesting. We are noticing the Gazlo showing up. Otherwise, just Thrall and Jane, classic good heroes that have been around for a very long time. Nothing too crazy or surprising. I think the Zul wins a lot because of the double soaking, just macro pressure.
Surprised not to see Sonya in there.
Yeah, Sonya does not show up in this list, although she might not be that far down. I can check for you later. If we go to Division 3 stats, the next slide. Insane stat here is Deathwing at 100% win rate over 15 games. Cassia 80% win rate over 35. Anubrek 71% win rate and Gul'dan 68%.
Shout out to Anub making a comeback and
shout out to Anub
and Deathwing with 100. Or it'd be one thing over 3, 4, 5, 7. No, 15 games.
15 games. Deathwing has not lost in Division 3. That is nuts. That shouldn't be real. That's crazy.
Okay.
But apparently it is. Deathwing 2 OP.
I have a Deathwing.
Yeah, maybe this is the key for the Div 4 teams to get a powerful hero that's winning games in Div 3. But if we look at Div 2, we have, again, Deathwing showing up at 75% win rate over 20 games. Gazlo 71%, Brightwing 71%, Samuro 70%. So some interesting heroes. I think Samuro might be like one or two players' fault that's up there on the board. But I think the Brightwing one is really telling. Brightwing is so high priority. It's just Stukov and Brightwing like almost every game.
She's a saber, AoE cleanse, big global heal.
A lot of value in just the Z and the big spell armor, putting on one target, the global. And we move on to Division 1, some very strange results. We got Lucio at 80%, Zeratul 78%, Raynor 76%, and May 66% win rate.
I don't think that's too surprising.
I guess it's not too surprising. It's just like, I don't think of Lucio, Raynor, May as being like absolute powerhouses of the meta. I just think they're like solid heroes, but apparently very consistent for these Div 1 teams.
If you switch to 1 with 4, I'd be even less surprised.
Sure.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
Because you tend to see those high skill cap heroes on the Division 1 list, like Zeratul is one, but maybe like Alarak or
I think Zeratul, like we saw in the clip show, it's the power of Void Prison is just really overwhelming in the hands of a good player. It can just shut down a team.
Yeah.
I also see Icex in the chat says, I'm shocked that Towers of Doom was shortest and not Braxis. I think Towers of Doom gets more games played than Braxis. And while it is like hard to snowball that map, it's still possible with like a Sylvanas with the right ingredients. Towers can snowball if you get a 6 cap.
Yeah.
That's all we got for stats.
All right. Well, from there, we just gotta thank you guys for joining.
Yeah, thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope that you guys are satisfied with your the division you guys got into, or sorry, not division, the group you got into for playoffs. And I wish everyone best of luck. I hope we get some good games going forward.
Yeah, I wish I could have been more active in the chat, but obviously I had a lot of wheels to turn. And
that you did.
Things to do, and I'm an amateur learning as I go with all this, you know. But we are going to host Vixen. And who's up for a raid?
Not sure who's streaming right now. Hopefully we can find someone.
No, I got someone right now.
You got someone? That's awesome.
She's actually the designer of this layout right here.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
She did it pro bono when she was looking for like after the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. All right, thank you everybody so much for watching.
And,
Rating Big Steve. See you over there.
So if you guys ever need, she also did my logo if you've ever seen it. But she does logos. She'll do your whole stream. Not for free, of course, but yeah.
Hell yeah.
All
It's been
right.
awesome doing this with you again.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, Nyquil. I cannot thank you enough for putting up my shenanigans and you know, just being overall good.
Dude, shenanigans are the spice of life. That's what they say.
Yeah. All right. So let's get this raid going. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. All right.